Son, I've watched more men blow their accounts than I care to count. Bright men, educated men, men who could read a ticker tape faster than most people read a newspaper. Men who understood the fundamentals, who knew the technicals, who could talk about the markets for hours over a scotch and sound like absolute geniuses. And yet, they were broke inside of 6 months. Every single one of them made the same mistake. Not a mistake in their analysis, not a mistake in their entry, not even a mistake in their exit. The mistake was made before they ever placed a trade. Back when I was cutting my teeth on the floor, an old trader pulled me aside after I'd had my 3rd losing week in a row. I thought I was going to get a lesson in chart reading, maybe a tip on reading order flow, something technical. Instead, he looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're not losing because you're wrong about the market. You're losing because you don't know how much to lose." I didn't understand it at first, but I do now. See, every man who walks onto this floor thinks the game is about being right. Pick the right stock, call the right direction, time the right move. That's not the game. The game is survival. The market will be open tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Your only job, your one job, is to make sure you are still open tomorrow too. The traders who lasted, the ones who built real wealth over decades, they weren't always the smartest in the room. They weren't always the fastest. They weren't always right. But they were always still there. Here's the truth that nobody on this floor will tell you for free. You keep blowing your account because you treat every trade like it's the last train out of the station. You size too big because you need this trade to work. You hold a loser too long because you can't afford to be wrong. You add to a losing position because your ego won't let you take the loss. And then, one morning, you come in, the market gaps against you, and everything you built is gone before lunch. I've seen it 100 times. The man who risks everything on one trade isn't a trader. He's a gambler in a good suit. A real trader, a professional, knows that no single trade defines him. He knows that the edge doesn't live in one trade. It lives in 1,000 trades, executed with discipline over time. You want to know what separates the men who lasted from the men who didn't? Position size. That's it. The men who lasted never let a single trade hurt them badly enough to knock them out of the game. They might lose on Monday, they might lose on Tuesday, but they had enough left to win on Wednesday. The men who blew their accounts? They gave the market the ability to end their career in a single session. It always starts the same way. A man has a good run, 3, 4, maybe 5 winning trades in a row. He starts to feel it, that confidence, that certainty that he's figured something out, that the market owes him something. So he sizes up. Maybe he doubles his position. Maybe he triples it. After all, he's been right. Why not make the most of it while the streak is hot? And then the market does what it always does to overconfident men. It humbles them. One bad trade, just one, at triple the size, and suddenly 3 weeks of gains are gone in an afternoon. That's not bad luck. That's bad math. And on the other side, a man has a losing streak. 2, 3 bad trades. Now he's frustrated. Now he's chasing. He sizes up again, but this time to get it back, to recover what the market took from him. The market doesn't owe you a recovery. It doesn't care that you're down. It doesn't care about your mortgage, your family, your ego, or your confidence. It is completely indifferent to your pain. And when you trade emotionally, when you trade to recover rather than to profit, you are no longer trading. You are gambling. And the house always wins against a gambler. The fix isn't complicated. It never was. Risk a small, fixed percentage of your account on every single trade. No exceptions. No matter how certain you feel, no matter how obvious the setup looks. In my years on this floor, I've watched men with brilliant minds lose everything. And I've watched men of average intellect build small fortunes simply because they respected the one rule that mattered. Never let one trade end your career. If you risk a small percentage, say 1 or 2% of your capital, you can be wrong 10 times in a row and still be in the game. You can have a terrible month and still come back in the new one. The market can take a run at you and you survive it. But the moment you abandon that discipline, the moment you tell yourself, "This one's different," you've handed the market a loaded gun and pointed it at yourself. The market has been teaching this lesson since before you were born. It taught it to the men on this floor. It taught it to the speculators before us. It will teach it to the traders who come after you. The question is whether you'll learn it from watching or whether you'll learn it the expensive way like most men do. Protect your capital. Stay in the game. The opportunity to make money will always come back around, but only if you're still here to take it.